Hey there, folks. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And welcome to part 5 of my Halloween 2015 marathon. Now, last time, I took a look at the recent Goosebumps movie. But Goosebumps isn't the only thing R.L. Stine is best known for. Heck, he's even wrote a few teen horror novels, a few TV shows like The Nightmare Room, as well as a few specials for Universal Studios like The Haunting Hour, Don't Think About It, Mostly Ghostly, Who Let the Ghosts Out, its hilarious sequel, Have You Met My Ghoul Friend, and the recent Monsterville Cabinet of Souls film. But little do people know or remember that in 2003, Stine teamed up with Cymex Iworks Entertainment to make a short 4D film for a few theme parks that were sponsored by Busch Gardens, and it is the subject of my blog tonight. So, without further ado, released on March 7th, 2003, the movie is Haunted Lighthouse 4D. So, let's get started, shall we? This film tells a story of two ghost children who are cursed to remain forever on a Cape Cod beach in a 19th century era lighthouse. After 100 years, they meet two children visiting the beach and take them to the lighthouse, hoping to turn them into ghosts like them. So, what do I think of this short movie? Well, it was pretty thrilling, suspenseful, silly, and just plain fun. But in order to explain more info, let's move on to Mustang notes. The film was directed by Joe Dante, known for directing Looney Tunes Back in Action, the Gremlins films, and Howling. It debuted in several United States theme parks, including SeaWorld in San Diego, California, and San Antonio, Texas. The film was created by Busch Entertainment Corporation and Lookout Entertainment. It is the first 3D film featured at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. The film was shot in 3D using a 5 perforation / 70mm format. The effects of the show included water, air jets, and seats wired with special effects like buzzers, remote speakers, and other tactile elements. The ending features water cannons mounted underneath the screen, which soaked many people in the theater. The film recently began shows at the UK theme park Flamingoland. Shows formerly located at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay and Busch Gardens Williamsburg were replaced by Pirates 4D in early 2006. Now, while this film was great, I need to mention a few parts that were interesting to me. For example, the opening prologue scene, it almost looks like a 3D painting coming to life. Plus, it does give a nice way of telling everybody about what happened near the lighthouse. Also, I like how the lighthouse looks in this movie. I mean, the outside is shrouded in mist with some creepy looking trees, and the inside is mostly dark with fog covering the floor. It has ship decorations and furniture that are covered in spider webs. It has leaks in the roof that crumble a little bit. The windows are cracked, and the stairs are all rotten and unstable. Also, the story has a nice transition going, from the ghost kids trying to kill the main characters to, well, the main characters helping the ghost kids reunite with their parents by turning on the lighthouse beacon. Now, even though I was still pretty new to 3D films during that time, there were a few effects that frightened me a bit, like a shark coming out of a painting, ghostly shape-shifting bits, and rats coming out of the screen and tickling the audience's feet. Now, let's move on to the cast of this movie. Now let's start with our main characters, Ashley and Mike, played by Sarah Paxton, who after this film was the lead role in Aquamarine and Shark Night from 2011. Along with Matt Weinberg, who was young Simba in Lion King 1.5. Now, Ashley is a smart, mature, and responsible teenage girl with a sense of humor and fun in her. And Mike, well, is an everyday little brother who likes scary stories around campfires or in books, and wants to do adventurous stuff, even if he's too little to do them. But he does get seasick at one part in the film. Next up are the ghost children, Edgar, played by Bobby Edner, who during the same year was Francis in Spy Kids 3D Game Over. And his lovely talented sister Annabelle is played by Devane Chase, who was Lilo in Disney's Lilo and Stitch, and Chihiro from Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away. Edgar is the first of the two who we meet. He invites Ashley and Mike to come with him to the lighthouse, and Annabelle is introduced while she practices singing. While these two are basically dead, they do creepy tricks like having their heads float off their bodies, having their eyes bug out, and also their heads change into fish people. But the only flaw with them is that they can't seem to touch anything. That's why they need their mortal friend's help to turn on the lighthouse beacon, so they can be with their parents. Plus, I like the part where Edgar gives Ashley his shark tooth necklace at the end. Next is Captain Jack, an old fisherman played by Christopher Lloyd, who is in films like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, DuckTales the Movie, The Pagemaster, and Don Bluth's Anastasia. In my eyes, Jack is the most memorable character in the movie, not only because of Christopher Lloyd's performance, but because he does great narrating at the beginning, and he's a very wise sailor, even though he does get himself into into a misty pickle in one part of the movie. He watches over Ashley and Mike while their parents are on vacation for the summer. At the end of the film, he turns the lighthouse into a seafood restaurant. Next we have Edgar and Annabelle's parents. Captain Van Leg, played by Michael McKean, and Peg Van Leg, played by Leah Thompson. Lastly, comedic singer Weird Al Yankovic makes a cameo at the end of the film as a waiter who serves a catfish surprise that soaks everyone while watching it. Now let's move on to my final words. Overall, R.L. Stine's Haunted Lighthouse is a decent little scary movie. Even though it's about 20 minutes long, the story is nicely written with an interesting change of pace, with a hilarious ending. The characters are memorable, and it even has great effects that work well with the 3D involved. It may not be as memorable as Stine's other works like Goosebumps, but this film is definitely worth a watch. If any of you folks want to see this film for yourselves and want to watch it more often, then look no further than YouTube. Although you won't be seeing it in 3D or feel, any of the effects coming out at you. As for my final rating, I give it a 97% out of 100. Well, that's it for tonight, everybody. Be sure to join me next week, where I wrap up my Halloween 2015 marathon by blogging my favorite animated Scooby-Doo film, Mustang Power.